Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Now this is part 3 of a multi-part training that I'm putting out for free. Now this whole training program is designed to help you land your first paying client. And so what we are going to be covering today is client acquisition. Now this is by far the most tricky part of running a business and actually the part that most people trip up on the most. Okay, so what I'm going to be sharing with you today is the process of once you've identified your ideal client, how you can actually book a call and sign them up as a client. So we've actually got 2 different ways that we do this within our agency. We've got Outbound, which is essentially you taking your services and putting it out there in front of your ideal clients or prospects. And then we've got Inbound. So that essentially is your prospects or ideal clients coming in and asking you for help. All right, so there are 2 ways that you can acquire clients, all right? And I'm gonna run through those 2 different ways. So I'm gonna share that with you on the screen in a second. All right, once we've done that, I'm also gonna show you a very important step that a lot of people don't utilize, which is gonna allow you to get more booked meetings and more importantly, get people to show up more. Because honestly, the amount of times that I put in the work and effort to outreach to a customer, to get them to agree to a meeting, get them booked in, then they didn't show up, is honestly countless. So I've got a little tip for you today to prevent that from happening to you and just increase the likelihood of someone showing up, which more importantly just increases the chance of you signing up a client. Right, now before we jump into this, please do remember to hit subscribe, hit the bell notification too, and you'll be notified of all future releases. That includes future releases for this free online program that I'm putting out on YouTube. And also let me know down in the comments what outreach strategies you're utilizing. Is it inbound? Is it outbound? Is it any at all? Let me know down in the comments. All right, without further ado, let's go. Okay, so this is the client acquisition system and how you go about filling your calendar. All right, so we've got a process here, and this we are going to start with outbound client acquisition. All right, so you've got your ideal client on one side, and then you need to take a series of steps in order to turn them into a customer. All right, so first of all, you've got a touch point. So this is essentially you emailing a prospect, direct messaging them maybe on a social media account, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn, or you are just going out there and cold calling businesses. Okay, this is the very first step. It is the touch point. Then you need to strike up a conversation. Okay, so after you've reached out to them, you need to start that conversation. You're having a conversation about their business, what problems they're having, maybe talking a little bit about what you do and how you can help them and how you've helped other businesses overcome similar challenges. So then off the back of the conversation, your goal is to book a meeting. Okay, so one thing I do stress is whenever you outreach to a prospect, no matter which way, whatever your touch point is, whatever the conversation is, you're not selling anything. You're not selling your service, you're selling a meeting, okay? So your end goal is to just get a meeting. That's what you're trying to do. You're not trying to be pushy, you're not trying to sell them anything on the phone, right? So that's really, really important that you understand that, guys. Once you have your booked meeting, you're then going to have your call, okay? So you're then going to have that sales-based call with your ideal customer. Once you've gone through the call, then hopefully you've then managed to sign them up. Okay, so they are the 5 touch points from going from ideal client all the way through to customer. Okay, so first of all, you've got the touch point, you've then got the conversation, you've then got the meeting booked, you've then got the sales call, and then you've got them signed up as a client, all right? Okay, so that is the outbound client acquisition, all right? So what does this look like if you were to go more inbound? It is actually very similar. We've got the conversation, so you have that conversation with them, you understand their challenges, you book a meeting, you have that sales call, exactly the same process, and then hopefully you sign a client up. But actually where this differs, where the inbound differs from the outbound, is with the initial touch point, all right? So the touch point is different. It's very, very different, right? And the way that we do this is through engagement, otherwise known as giving advice, giving free value, helping people, and looking like an authority, all right? So this actually works really, really well with me within my agency. Ever since I started YouTube and I've started producing content like this for free, I'm giving value. I'm giving value to you and all of the other people watching the content on my channel. But not only do I do this to build the Agency Alchemist training program, it works very, very well within my agency as well. All of the content that I put out on YouTube, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, I'm here to help people reach their goals. right? And that works very, very well. Now, the more value that you put out, every now and then you can put a call to action post, all right? So you could perhaps share some results, ask people directly if they want similar results. If they do, get them to book in a conversation or get them to book in a call directly. Right, so the engage step here is what is very, very different. This is what differs outbound from inbound. So you now know the difference between inbound acquisition and outbound acquisition, okay? For the most part, they're very, very similar. The whole process of starting that conversation and signing a client up is exactly the same. It's just the touch point at the start that is slightly different, okay? And you should split your efforts. You should spend a portion of your time on outbound and you should spend a portion of your time generating inbound. Right. Always be giving value, always help people, and always put content out there, because honestly, it will work. The more that you can get content out there, the more that people can see it and engage with it. They're always going to think of you first when they need the services that you are offering. Okay, so this now brings us on to the next step, and that's how you actually get booked meetings. Right. So essentially, what we're going to be doing here is setting up your calendar. Right. So when I think back, when I got started with my agency, I actually didn't have a tool like this that allowed me to easily book meetings with my ideal client, okay? And I would go through the manual process of sending an email or calling them, trying to figure out when they're free, when our diaries align, things like that. And there was a lot of back and forth, and it just jars the whole experience. It creates opportunity for that conversation to die down, and then you've lost that opportunity of a sale, okay? So this tool here that I'm about to share with you is a game changer. All right, so let's have a look at this. So this is setting up your calendar. So I'm just going to jump out of the presentation. All right, so this is the tool in question. It's called Caldendly, right? And it's been an absolute game changer for me. Now you can see my whole Caldendly setup here, and I'm just going to quickly run you through it. What I recommend you do is create something similar. All right, so you can see here I've got multiple calendars depending on the events. So we've got some for the agency Alchemist in here. We've got agency sessions, growth sessions for the UK, 30-minute game plans. So I've essentially got a calendar for the US and I've got a calendar for the UK, and this allows me to portion my time accordingly depending on the time zones, right? So that's really, really important. So whenever someone wants to book on a call with me, all I need to do is click copy link, right? And literally all I would do is send them that link. Right? And what this is going to allow them to do is look at my diary and pick a time that they are available, right? So let's say that they're based in the US. All of these times will change depending on their native local time zone, all right? So they are booking in a time that works for them, all right? That is available on my calendar, but works for them, all right? So this tool honestly is insane. Now I apologize if you've heard of Caldendly and you're already using it. If you are, perfect, but you might still take inspiration here on how I've got it set up. All right, so let's take a look at the growth session in the UK. So we are going to edit this. Okay, so just let's have a look at an overview of this one. You can see that it's actually a Zoom session. So all of my calls are within Zoom. The call is only 15 minutes long and they can book up to 2 weeks in advance. I don't let them book too far in advance because as the weeks and months go on, the chances of them needing your service becomes a lot less. Okay, so very important here, we've got invitee questions. All right, so I actually use these questions as an opportunity to qualify anyone that books in a call with me, right? So I ask them what their revenue is, I ask them what their goals are, ask them what their website looks like, and asks them on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are they to fix their problem, okay? So if they're not very motivated, then I might cancel that call because I don't want to waste my time. If I look at their website and it's not a good fit for us, then I might cancel that call. If they don't have enough revenue for our services, then I might cancel that call. All right, so there's a couple of easy qualifying questions in there. And if you have your own pre-qualification questions, I recommend you put them in here as well. The next thing that I want you to pay attention to is the notifications. Okay, so the notification section in Caldendly has been a game changer for me because this allows you to send notifications to the person that's booked in a meeting. And you can set certain trigger points, be it 2 days before, a day before, an hour before, 50 minutes before, and it's just going to remind them that they have a meeting coming up, okay? When they book in a meeting and they get no reminder, it's so easy for them to completely forget, and that's going to increase your non-show up rate, or it's going to decrease your show up rate, okay? So you're going to have less people turning up to your meetings, which isn't ideal, especially if you've prepared, you've psyched yourself up, and you're sat there on the Zoom call and no one's turning up, okay? Honestly, It's such a pain in the ass and it's super disappointing. So make sure that doesn't happen. So to make sure that doesn't happen, you create notifications. Now, I think this is the paid for plan, and Calendly is only $10 per month. Okay, so it's not very expensive. But what you can do is you can create calendar invitations, you can create email reminders, and you can create text reminders. Okay, so if we just click on personalize, you'll see here that it's just super casual. Just a quick reminder that your event name, so the meeting name, is at the time specified on this date. Okay, and it will give them the Zoom details and all the information that they need. And I just put speak soon, Tristan. All right, so it's that straightforward. And this actually gets sent to me, it gets sent to the prospect, it gets text messaged, it gets emailed. All right, so there's a lot of touch points there once they've booked in a call. Okay, and this definitely increases the show out rate. So there you have it, guys. Not only do you now understand the typical client acquisition process and what you are aiming for, you now understand how to increase your show out rate, how to book more meetings using a calendar booking tool. So remember, whether you're doing inbound or outbound, put in the work. If you're doing inbound, create content, make sure that you're being valuable. If you're doing outbound, make sure that you're hitting the phones, you're doing the emails, and you are direct messaging people on social media if that's what you want to be doing. I always recommend a multi-platform strategy because you never know how people are going to respond or what platforms they are using themselves, which is why we do email, call, and direct message. All right, so there has been quite a bit here in this training, this individual training today. There's going to be loads more rolling out in the next couple of weeks, so make sure you do hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification too, and you'll be notified of these future releases. And guys, let me know down in the comments, all right? What are you doing? Are you doing outbound? Are you doing inbound? How's it going? Are you using Caldendly? All right, let me know down in the comments. I'm really keen to hear it. And before I go, remember guys, this training is to help you sign up your first client. If you've done that already, like, congratulations, that's a huge step and you should be proud of yourselves. If you are looking to take it to the next step and reach $5,000 or $10,000 per month, then I do recommend you check out the Agency Alchemist program. There's so many students in there already just absolutely crushing it. We've got people signing website deals for over 5K, people hitting 10K months. It's honestly, it's insane. So if you want to learn more about that, go check out the website. There's a link down in the description. Or if you want to have a conversation with me, just drop me a message, drop me a comment, or book in a call directly with me. I'd love to share that information with you. Now that's all I've got for you today, guys. There's an end screen coming up. Make sure you check that out as well. There's more valuable content there, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.